we had a nice spirited, good about 2 hours and 15-minute practice. I was really proud of the kids because we made a change yesterday. We'd sent out um, our schedule and we made a change. I tell you, we didn't have anybody late. Everybody was there. We got such a good group of kids and hungry to win. And it starts with the leadership that we have on our football team from the players. But thought we had a really good practice. For the first day, not a lot of balls on the ground, not a lot of picks being thrown. And so the transition was good. Got a lot done, and it was a good first day.
I was curious about your defensive line, just looking at like Anthony Booker out there, how big he is, and Quincy Rhodes, just a freshman. What are your thoughts on just their size up front?
Yeah, I like them. We're big. They run. They play well together. It starts out at the ends. We're huge at defensive end right now, and guys can run. And I thought Tank. It's shell or it's spiders. But Tank moved around really well today. Kiwi Rose did. Some guys, some new guys. Keelan Stewart. I thought he moved well. So I was most looking at some of the new guys in Indy, so I could kind of, the guys I hadn't seen before, move around a little bit. But you're right, we're big, and those guys can move. So certainly that'll help us in the run.
On a couple of the freshmen, running backs usually bite as freshmen if they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Just your thoughts on, is it Augustov? Is that how you say it?
Augustov.
Yeah. Is there a possibility for him to? I mean, you got a pretty talented room there, and then also look like Davion Dozier is a pretty well put together guy. Made a couple of good catches while we were out there.
You look at our team and we're big, and obviously the guys can run and things, but I thought Augustov did some good thing. Big running back now, big good looking kid that can run, can move, and of course Davion, he made a couple of catches today, and he looks like a SEC wide receiver, and both of them really good kids. Know how to work.
Jackson a little bit better at media days, and you can see why you guys, selected him. What do you thought maybe for his leadership skills and kind of his progression that goes along with his weight and his body transformation?
He's always been a really mature guy. I mean, just I think everybody on the team likes Landon Jackson. If they don't, there's probably something wrong with him, But he just puts his head down, goes to work, and he had a great spring, and that's where it kind of started. And I felt like, and then in the summer when he, packed on, I don't know, another 25 after he had packed it on in the spring, and I thought he was just a great choice to represent the team. Like I say, and those sitting back there, we could have took him. He was a little easier because he was just sophomore, but to take Landon, but he's earned that right, and the kids look up to him, and so do I.
I get asked a lot about whether the transfer receivers and the guys who were younger, Jadon Wilson and that group, are going to be SEC level receivers. But we watch Andrew Armstrong today. I was going to ask you about the receiving core, and then Andrew Armstrong just is making catches.
Yeah, I think KJ will be able to answer that better than I do, but not right now. But he can answer it here in a minute. But he's fast and he's big. It's kind of, I'm a D2 player, where I was in AIA, but they're D2 now. It's kind of neat to bring a couple guys from Division II ball that had, both I think had about 1,000 yards in catches, and then, they developed later. And here comes Armstrong, and he's fast and big. We was talking about it actually on the golf cart ride over here, because he had made a catch in it from KJ in a 2-minute drill. And I think KJ really believes in him and those things, but you got him and Tesla, and I was excited about Satagna. He did some good things today. Part of it was his blocking, his ability to go in there and mix it up. But you know, with Wilson and Bakke and those guys, I just feel like we're going to have a nice receiver core, and we certainly have the size that we need out there.
And Jaden Wilson missed some time in the spring. What do you think about kind of how they look today and how they're returning?
Yeah, I think that, you know, Wilson would have a little bit because he's been in a system, not necessarily in Dan's system, but in our system as a team. So I wasn't too concerned about him, and he showed up today because he showed up all summer, you know. And Broden was the one where, you know, he doesn't understand our system, doesn't understand the offensive system, that I felt like got hurt in spring because of that. But as far as I know, without watching the tape, I know he made a few catches today and did some good things.
You mentioned Keon Stewart earlier, but maybe some of the other transfer defensive backs getting to see them for the first time, like Jaheim Singletary today.
Well, yeah, it's different, you know, a little bit because I felt like I've seen Singletary, which I really hadn't either because he's been here all summer, you know, but we really hadn't seen him either, just like Tank and Kiwi Rose and some of them guys. But I thought he did a nice job today, and I think I lost the question. What'd you say first?
Just the transfer defensive backs that
Yeah.
you got to see for the first time today.
Yeah. AJ Brathwaite was one of those guys too, and you know, I could see a little bit more from the back end on offense, but I'll have to watch the tape to see who all played really well in the secondary. I can see the front about as deep as Pooh is, and then after that, I don't exactly know who played well and who didn't, but I thought they all ran to the ball well, and I'll have to wait till I watch the tape to really give a great answer for you.
I think Josh Braun was with the first team in fastball at right guard. Is that, you know, do you like him there? And then I think, you know, Crawford and Harris are probably right there as well.
Yeah, we like him at guard. You know, the depth chart is just like all over the place right now, and it will change tomorrow. You know, just right now we're two spotting with ones and new because we hadn't seen some of those new guys, and but I think coming out of spring ball, Josh has earned the right to be with the ones. We like him at guard, and he's got a lot of competition there for that spot.
Hey, Sam, I don't know, Dylan Haas, you know, he played all spring, I guess, with a broken hand.
Who?
Dylan Haas.
Yeah.
I guess he broke it on the
Yeah.
first day. And then what do you think about a young guy doing that?
Well, you know, Augustov had one too, but I guess that's his summer. He got a little cast on his, but Has is a Has, man. He's tough. You know, Luke's tough, Dylan's tough, probably Dad's tough, Mom probably pretty. I know she's tough, and so he wants to play. Anybody who loves the game of football is going to find a way to get out there and practice. You know, and we're certainly happy to have both of them, but Dylan's going to be a good play for us as well. Yeah.
And how'd you think the quarterbacks, besides KJ, threw the ball today?
I thought they did well. You know, Fortin had some nice throws in there. Jacoby, and again, you'll have to ask KJ because he knows more about it than I do, but it seemed like Jacoby was a little more relaxed or confident. I don't know the word today than what he ever was in the spring. I felt like the summer and the guys doing the OTAs on their own and all that stuff helped him. And, you know, a lot of it has to do with talent. A lot of it has to do with what my mind's telling me, motivation wise or confidence wise. And I felt like he was night and day from where he was in the spring. I felt like he knew what he was doing, and he made some checks and things of that nature that he might not have done in spring ball. Threw the ball well. He got a really strong arm.
The way some people I know in Georgia were talking about Singletary is like, yeah, he's going to be real good, but he's still skinny. He was actually pretty.
He's not skinny anymore.
No, he's made quite a
Nor am
transformation.
I, but I mean that's another topic.
He going to help y'all this year?
Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind he'll help us. And he's a big, thick guy, you know, that can run. And We didn't get him developed. We were going to develop, but we need some help. So he got to get out there as quick as possible. And there's good battles going on at that corner spot. I really like the guys we have out there. And like I say, if some of them guys can develop, maybe we'll add a wing out of safety somewhere, out of that group, which would help us as well.
Practice this early.
I don't know. In Cincinnati in '96, we had 3 days. Yeah, y'all don't know nothing about that. 3 practices. Yeah, I'm not talking about one and coach, we're going 2 hours and 15 minutes, talking about 3. And I think we may have started at 6 a.m. at Cincinnati. I don't know, it was all blurred because once you have 3 practices in a day, it's a beast on everybody. But I was, like I told the kids after practice, I was really proud of the way we practiced. I mean, nobody was late, like I said before, and they, shows that you have a hungry team, an accountable team, and a grown-up team, mature team. So they've got to do it every day. But I believe that they will. I believe they want to win, and believe football's fun to them.
And all that.
Yeah, I thought it started out slow, and I didn't think we were loud enough in our communication on either side of the ball. Had a really nice teach period early in Indy. At the last period of Indy, I thought the defense did a nice job of communication, but once we got to inside run and when we got better by the time blitz came on offense.
Walcott didn't get to practice last spring. He was hurt. But did he get to pick up some stuff just by being here and
Yeah.
going to the meeting?
Yeah, and I mean he actually got to do some things in the summer. But I walked up next to him and asked one of the players who is this guy, and because he's been here, just hadn't had the opportunity to practice. Again, he's a really good kid and works really hard, and we're awfully glad that he's on the team, and we're glad that he's back and healthy.
Yeah, more at safety. I think last spring you said more at nickel, but
Yeah.
it seemed like maybe safety now.
Well, I think if we had our druthers, we'd probably play him at boundary safety, but I think he's going to probably have to play both. I think he's going to have to play hog and safety. And we'll find out how our 5 mesh around Pooh and those guys, the best 5 that we can go out and win, each game with.
Brooks started the bowl game. Is he coming along, still progressing like maybe you would think, getting after being here a year and getting that 1 start?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that the bowl helped him and gave him confidence. But he's a hard-working son of a gun now. When we run sprints, it's a fight to see who can beat him, and guys do at times. One of them, Pooh, one of them, but Crook's going to give you everything he has all the time. And that's just who he is, and that's really why we went on him in high school, because of how hard he plays. Okay. Get the real guys up here.